I'd like to talk a little bit more about maintaining your own energy body, your own chi. So we discussed already how different types of activity and different types of food will affect the quality of your chi. In general also, the fresher your food is, the more chi it will contain, the more life force will be in it. And roughly you can say that within the first 3 days after being slaughtered or being plucked, that most of the chi is still within the object. So in a way, even though it is dead energetically, it is still alive. But after these first initial 3 days, then the energy quality will quickly start to drop and the energy will disappear. So usually if you eat things which are more than 2 weeks old, then there is no chi remaining. If originally the life force was very good, very positive, then it is a waste not to eat it very quickly. So for instance, if you have like a fish which has been swimming in the sea, which has all kinds of experiences, and it is caught, then it should be eaten quickly so that all these experiences can actually give you new patterns, new ideas, new stimulation for your energy body. But if, for instance, it has been a horribly, cruelly maltreated bioindustry chicken, which hasn't seen more of life than just 6 weeks of constant misery, then it's actually better to wait for a few weeks before consuming it, because otherwise you will take all these horrible patterns of fear, pain and suffering also into your own energy body, and the energy body will manifest what is inside. So if you eat things which are full of frustration and suffering, also you yourself will tend to become more full of frustration and suffering. In general, 2 weeks is a very safe period, so that most of the edge will go off, but for the energy to completely dissipate takes longer. So it can be up to 1.5 months for the energy to be really like bleed out of it completely, for it to become truly neutral again. So this is important with regards to food. Also a place will have a certain chi. For instance, if you're in a place where there is a lot of movement, so you're next to a busy road, a railroad track, next to the water side, then because of the very rapid flow of energy, it will also create a kind of a young impulse in your own body, which can be very good if it's a place for working. You will feel more energized, more active there. But if you're trying to rest or to sleep there, it can be that you feel too stressed, and it will, really harm your ability to sleep, to rest, to meditate. Contrary, if you're in a place where the energy is very passive, very still, for instance, you're in a swamp, or you're in a place full of junk or administration or other things, then the energy will go into a very slow moving state. So also how you create your home around you will have an influence on the quality of your chi. So if it's more or less an open space, unobstructed space with lots of things which can in a way allow the life force in the world around you to flow more easily, like wooden flooring, wooden furniture, wooden house, then this tends to stimulate your chi, make you into a more active person. While if the energy is very blocked, you have a lot of aluminium, isolation, a lot of metal, a lot of other obstructions, then the energy will also tend to go more towards metal, slow, and you tend to run around in little circles instead of really allowing yourself to move forward. So as to exercises, it is very good in a way to move your chi through all the elements. If the chi is equal in all elements, you feel very stable, but unfortunately this is not an optimal way of working, because if it is spread out equally, then often the impulses which you start with your water chi, they will not carry out through the end. So if there is not enough power in the water chi to initiate something with a lot of passion, a lot of power, which will always automatically decrease as the process goes along, then you will be a starter but not a finisher. You will have ideas, have inspiration, come up with interesting dreams, but you will not be able to follow through on them, and they will stay just that, dreams and ideas, and then you can point to other people like, gosh, that's an interesting invention, I thought of that 5 years ago. But you didn't have the chi to finish it and other people did. So ideally, for you to be able to manifest, the chi has to be able to, in a way, collect and then move more or less as one collective block connected to what you're working with through your life. So, for instance, I want to learn something new. I want to learn kickboxing. The process of me learning kickboxing might take, at least for rudimentary level, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, something like this. So I need to have this desire, I need to be enthusiastic about it, I need to think about it, I need to prepare my body for it. This is basically the water element. And then it goes, okay, instead of thinking about it, dreaming about it, I have to start doing it, I have to start doing my exercises, doing my training, watching the instructions, listening to the teacher. So it's going to the classes, so it becomes about the wood. Then ultimately I need to be able to do it and not like sit in the back of the class and go, No, really put your hand into it, put your mind into it, put your body into it, put your energy into it, so it moves into the fire element. And then I need to find out, what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong? Should I change my patterns? Should I change my stance? And analyzing the information, earth element, and ultimately it can be part of my pattern. Like always I will be thinking of it or having that stance or being ready to hit or to kick or something like this, and then it becomes part of me. And then it moves into the metal. So in a way, for me, just to do something, I don't need a lot of energy. But if I want to do something in a way that it will change me, that it will have a lasting effect upon me, I need a lot of energy, I need a lot of power. This is why we're doing this exercise now, to help people to free up this energy. Because energy tends to get trapped in all kinds of patterns, in all kinds of needs of the body, and desires of the body to stabilize itself, not to overexert itself. You're in like comfortably numb in general. So we need to get out of this numb zone into a more adventurous state. So we will do this exercise in a few cycles, and with every cycle you will go more deeply into it. First thing is gathering energy. And gathering energy is a matter of attention, but also creating space. So the energy body is a little bit like a lemon, you could say. If something is very tense, you squeeze it, then you squeeze out all the juice, and you also squeeze out all the energy. So if part of the physical body is very tensed up, then also that will tend to have little energy and not to be able to contain a lot of energy. So for the energy to be able to move around the body, also the whole body needs to be able to open up. So it is very good and important to do yoga exercises or martial arts exercises, or even if you're not doing that, at least stretches, to really open up the body physically so the energy can move into all parts of the body. So the first part is in collecting the water chi again. So the water chi has to collect energy out of the metal chi, so you have to be able to let go of your patterns, to say like, okay, I'm going to do something new now, I'm not going to do the same thing as I do every day, I'm going to have my little adventure. And I'm going to play around a little bit, so playful attitude is very necessary. So train yourself also during these exercises, not just to do it physically, but also energetically, mentally, emotionally. Working with chi is a very holistic approach. So try to also do your exercises as a whole person, not just with your mind or your visualization, but with everything. So, moving into the water chi. So we do our yin-yang breathing again. So tense up from the belly, upward, and relax. Tense, bring the wave of tension up, and bring a wave of relaxation up. Bring up a wave of tension, bring up a wave of relaxation. Okay, and now start bending forward and moving the back. And alternately open up the left hand side and the right hand side of the back. Stretch, stretch. So stretch your left and stretch your right. Oh, other way around, sorry. Stretch your left, stretch your right. Stretch your left, stretch your right. And feel that you're in a way getting ready. You're pumping yourself up for a race. Breathe in, tense, breathe out, relax. Breathe in, tense, breathe out, relax. Okay. So now we get a little bit of a clump of energy in our water meridian. Now we will try to move that energy to our wood meridian. So now it is not just the preparing for the race, it's really getting more active. And we want to stretch the right hand side of the body, the right flank, so the energy can move into the liver. So try to move and open up your right flank. And really feel that you want to run, that you want to get moving, that things are not moving fast enough for you. Really want to put some effort into it. Really want to put some energy there. And move out all the obstructions also. All these thoughts which are lingering, keeping you from focusing on anything else. Oh, I still have to do my groceries, I have to rest, I have to clean the room. Get it all out. Just feel like, okay, whatever needs to be done will be done. I can overcome all obstacles. You will feel that your back is getting softer again, and that your right hand side is filling up with energy. So now we move the energy to the center of the body, to the fire meridians. And this is really about opening up, about sharing, about confidence, about saying to yourself, I can do it, I want to do it, I should do it, I'm welcomed to do it. So do a little backward stretches to open up these meridians here. So open up your chest, throw back your shoulders. Confidence, open up, really allow your energy to flow forward, to show yourself. You're not afraid of anything. And keep the focus here on the center of the body, on the front end. So you want to be yang when opening up, and yin when closing down. So open up and project your energy outward. Yang. Yang. Yeah. So you tense and you open up. Okay. So now you should start feel more stability also. This is also what the 5 meridian is very important for, having the stability, having the strength to move yourself out. So now we get to the earth meridians, which are on the left hand side of the body. And this is really about learning from what you're doing, about self-reflection, about listening to the feedback you're getting, the comments you're getting. So this can be a little bit more tricky, because especially if you're a little bit prideful or sensitive or a Leo, then any comments can really impact you, and you can feel like, okay, I'm not doing it right, I'll just give up, I'll just go away, I won't bother anybody anymore. But you need to have this strong, so you can work with the input you're getting, by the feedback you're getting, and use it to grow, and not just get pushed out by other people's comments. And don't turn into a sheep. Okay, I will do it your way. No, you have to keep your own impulse strong. So now we're going to open up the left hand side and feel that you're in a way confident enough to listen to other people, to take their advice, to look at their example, but also confident enough to do it your own way, to experiment, to feel that this is your process. Okay. Open up the left. And feel that you're not accepting everything, but you're in a way just a filter. Like, okay, what is good for me, I will take. What is nonsense and bad for me, I will let flow past me. So finally, we will work again with both sides, with the metal meridians. Metal meridians are in a way running down over the lungs, over the large intestine, and also in the whole skeleton, in the bone structure. Metal meridians are really about allowing yourself to build on your new pattern. So if they run too fast, then you forget everything you know. Then you're in a kind of a panic state. You're like regressing and you forget everything. This can happen when a person has exam stress, for instance, then the metal meridians become too liquid because you feel, oh my god, I cannot deal with this. And then you throw away all the old patterns to build up a new pattern. So we don't want to make the metal meridians too liquid, because then we forget everything. But also they cannot be too rigid, because then you're not open for change, you're not open for learning anything new. So the metal meridians require actually the most precise stimulation. With pretty much everything else, we tend to have to move it into a bit more yang state, into a bit more active state, because people tend to be lazy. And it's okay to be a little bit more active. If you feel with a certain element that it is overactive, you can try to slow it down a bit. But with metal, you have to be very careful, because this is really your own foundation you're working with. All the other things come and go, but the metal will always stay throughout your lifetime. So be gentle with your metal, don't force yourself, don't overdo it, don't go too quickly. It's the most important thing. So again, we will do stretches, but now we're in a way more inflating the whole body and deflating the whole body. So we will be inflating both the belly and the chest, so both the lungs and the large intestine will get more room. We blow ourselves up like a blowfish, but we do it slowly. And make yourself as big as possible so you can accept all these new patterns, all this new information. And relax and let all this new information condense down into a single seed of wisdom. And again, open up your organs to receive the impulses and relax them. So the yin impulse can land in your body, be stored in your body. Okay, so this is the basic series. We'll just go through it one more time together. So stretch the back. And you will find that the more you do it, the easier it will get. So the rhythm of breathing is relatively quick in the beginning, the first elements, and it becomes also more slow as you move into the later elements. You just follow the natural speed of the chi, which is, in this case, almost 2 breaths a second. So, again, into the opening the wood chi. And you keep doing the exercise until you feel that in a way the back is starting to empty, to relax. And when you feel that the back is no longer getting soft, when all the energy has moved into the wood chi, then you can shift and stop stimulating the wood chi and then move into the fire chi. So the breathing is now slightly more than 1 second per breath. It's already half as fast as it was when we were working with the water chi. And actually the first 3 elements are usually still quite fast, and it takes quite a drop when you move into more reactive elements. These are actually the active elements. You're moving energy outward, and with the earth and the metal you're actually allowing energy to move in. So also for digestion, the earth is very important. If you have problems with your digestive system, you have allergies, it's very important to work on your earth. So now I'm taking about 4 seconds for a breath. So it becomes about twice as long as it was in the fire. And finally again the metal. And ideally, you will do these exercises for about 20 minutes a day to build up a very strong and healthy energy body to make you as good a healer as possible.